Alright guys, today I'm going to teach you one of the fundamental building blocks of many modern flourishes. It's essentially a packet twirl and it looks like this. Do it again. So as you can see, the basic move involves holding a small packet of cards, maybe 5 to 6 cards, and you are going to be holding the card in between your middle finger and your thumb on either side of the pips. Or opposite end, it really doesn't matter. It depends on the flourish you're trying to do. Both work, but the main part of the move is all involved with this index finger. You're gripping the packet between your middle finger and your thumb like this, and your index finger is going to grab the top and it's going to pull down and then extend out like that. And then you're going to bring it back, re-grip, and you can just essentially just keep going around like that. One of probably the hardest things you're going to have with this is maybe clearing the packet from your palm. As you can see, it comes fairly close to my palm when I'm rotating it, but that just comes with practice. Eventually you're going to be able to maintain contact with the card whilst rotating the packet with your finger. This move goes into a lot of other different flourishes because it's so versatile. You can do it whilst holding other cards because it only involves these 3 fingers. For example, you can do moves like this, where you combine that rotating action of the packet with a rotating card in the other hand. It can also be used as a closer, where you rotate the packet and just cut it underneath the pack. So it's one of those versatile fundamental moves that you need to learn, but it all starts with just gripping the pack and just getting that rotation with your finger down. Essentially that's what you're going to be aiming for. But anyway, I'm going to go into some tips and tricks to help you guys maybe get more out of this move, show you how it can be applied to different moves, and why it's such a versatile move. Alright guys, so just some tips and tricks to really kind of get the most out of this move. When you're practicing it, just really focus on starting off slow and getting that full extension with your index finger, almost bowing the packet. That's going to allow you to get a lot more range of motion out of the move. And one of those little tips you probably noticed I'm doing already is I'm not just rotating the packet with my finger. I'm also adding a rotation on my wrist, which actually adds an extra 180-degree rotation to the packet. So even though the packet itself is only rotating 360 degrees, once I add that wrist rotation, you actually start getting a lot more of a dynamic movement out of it. So essentially what you're going to do is, as you're rotating the packet down with your index finger, you're going to rotate your wrist at the same time. So that once your finger reaches full extension, your palm is face up, and then just bring it back. And you'll see it just gets a lot more dynamic, you get a lot more movement, and that's what I combine with other flourishes that I do, where I need to really kind of get a lot more movement out of it. Alright guys, another tip for this move is just to make sure when you're gripping the packet between your fingers, make sure you're gripping it in the fleshy part of your fingers. So you can get a nice, so the corners get this nice deep groove in your fingers, so even though the packets are rotating, they don't move. Because what's going to happen tendency, if you hold it at the tips of your fingers, once the packets start rotating, there's a good chance that they're just actually going to fly out of your hand. So you want to make sure you're holding them nice deep in the fleshy part of your finger, so when you do the rotation, the cards don't fly out. Alright, so to get back to a starting position so you can continuously do the move like that, you're going to want to, once your hand's extended, as you're rotating your wrist down, your index finger is just going to curve back around to the top like that. So I'll do it again so you can see. It's just going to curve back around and then grip the top. So extended, reset, extended, reset. And you can just, that's probably the best way to practice this move before you add any kind of wrist rotation, is to just grip the packet, extend, reset, and just get that smooth, and then add the wrist rotation to it. Eventually, it really just comes with practice. Eventually you're just going to notice it gets smoother. You might notice when you're doing it, it doesn't look like the card's moving as much as it is what I'm doing here, but that just comes with practice, just timing the wrist rotation with the movements of the cards. That's all I got for you today on one of the most fundamental moves in cardistry, so practice it hard. In a future video, I'm going to show you guys how you can combine this in with other flourishes, including the revolution cut and the pirouette, which I've already taught you. Eventually, what we're going to do is, after I've taught you all these beginners moves, we're going to put it into a routine, and from there, hopefully, you guys should have your first full flourish. and from there I can go teaching you some more stuff as well. But like, comment, subscribe as always. Again, if there's any beginners flourishes out there that you would like me to teach you, just add them down into the comment section. I'll be sure to look at them and see if I can't teach them myself. But yeah, that's it from me today. See you soon.